wife is leaving the house with her bag. Her husband holds their small child in his arms and says anxiously, "Please don't go. If you leave, what will happen to our child?" He looks at her with teary eyes, hoping she will change her mind. The wife replies firmly, "I am tired of this difficult life. Let me go." She avoids looking at him and tightens her grip on the bag. The husband says calmly, "I know I have failed, but please give me a little more time. The child is still very small. He cannot live without his mother." His voice shakes as he tries to stay strong. The wife says coldly, "Don't use the child as an excuse to stop me. I am young and beautiful, and I have a bright future." She takes a step back toward the door. The husband says helplessly, "If you have made up your mind to leave, I will not stop you. But please don't take all the money from the house. I don't care about myself, but what about the child? He needs food and care." He lowers his head in pain. The wife replies angrily, "I have never seen a useless man like you. You have no ability at all. What kind of man are you? You depend on me to run this house. You want money, right?" She throws the cash notes into the air harshly and walks away. As the man is picking up the money from the ground, a girl notices it and quickly steps closer. The man goes up to the girl and says firmly, "This money is mine." He tries to control his emotions while standing in front of her. The girl replies gently, "Brother, here you go." She slowly places the money in his hand and steps back. The man says bitterly, "You are watching me get humiliated." He turns his face away in shame. The girl says softly, "No, brother, don't lose hope. You need to stay strong. Your child is still very small. At least be strong for him." She looks at him with concern in her eyes. The man asks curiously, "Little sister, you are so young and you are collecting bottles." He notices her torn clothes and tired face. The girl says calmly, "I lost my parents when I was a child. I couldn't get much education and I don't really have any special skills." She speaks with a faint smile despite her struggle. The man says sadly, "Your situation is even harder than mine." He feels a deep pain for her. Then he hands the money back to her and says gently, "You keep this." He pushes it slightly toward her hands. The girl replies firmly, "No, brother, I cannot take this." She shakes her head with determination. The man says honestly, "It is harder for you to earn money than it is for me." He looks at her with respect. The girl takes the money slowly and says sincerely, "Brother, I have 2 jade lockets. I have worn them since childhood. Please take one of them. When I earn enough money, I will recognize it and return your money." 15 years later, a man is walking down the street while talking on the phone when his money falls to the ground. He does not notice it at first and keeps walking. A girl sitting nearby quickly runs over and says urgently, Sir, you dropped your money." She waves her hand to stop him. The man says politely, "Thank you. Where did you get this locket from?" The young girl replies calmly, "My father gave it to me." The man asks curiously, "Where is your father?" The girl says simply, "He's standing right there." Then the secretary calls his boss excitedly and says, "Ma'am, I have found the person you have been searching for over the past 15 years. The boss asks urgently, "Where is he?" She stands up immediately. The secretary replies quickly, "He is in the park next to the company. He is working there as a security guard." The girl then goes up to the security guard and says respectfully, "Don't you recognize me? Please look closely." The security guard looks at the locket carefully and says surprisingly, "Oh, you are that little girl who used to collect bottles?" The girl says warmly, "Brother, you raised a child all by yourself. You must have gone through a lot of hardships." The man says calmly, "No, my daughter was always with me. That is why I stayed happy. You look very successful now." The girl says gratefully, "All of this is because of your help at that time. It gave me strength. Today I have my own company." Meanwhile, the secretary arrives with property papers and a bank card. The girl hands everything forward confidently to the security guard. The security guard says firmly, "I cannot accept this." The girl replies sincerely, "Brother, don't you remember? I promised I would one day repay your kindness. There is $1 million in this bank card and these are house property papers." Finally, the security guard accepts the items quietly and the girl becomes very happy. A peaceful silence fills the moment.